Welcome to Lashgasm Radio. Today we are going to be talking about a new partnership that we formed with Nebula Scientific. We have Joseph Barberio, who's the CEO, and Andrew Wood, who's the Chief Science Officer. Their company is 100% made in America. They avoid use of all toxic materials. Their ingredients are organic, eco-certified, sustainably sourced to minimize the impact on the environment, and their facilities are FDA registered. They're really revolutionizing the approach to nutraceuticals. Enjoy the show. Well, welcome to the show. I'm excited today. I say that every time, but I'm extra excited because this product I've been using personally for the past year, and I cannot wait to introduce it to our market. So I'm sitting here today with Joseph Barberio, the CEO of Nebula Scientific, and Andrew Wood, the Chief Science Officer.
Hi.
So, hello.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule. I know you guys are doing big things. The wellness space is booming, bigger now than ever, which I'm super excited about. I've been in this space for quite some time, so it's nice to hear people really starting to concentrate more about their health and wellness, particularly with these products. So,
for sure. Yeah, well, I mean, now more than ever, I think it's the boom is associated with the need for, a focus on, health and nutrition for sure.
Totally. Well, COVID, I think, put things into perspective for people where maybe they weren't thinking about their health so much. It's definitely changing their perspective. So I'm excited to, again, launch this product. So I met your team about, like I said, a year ago. And after I got the pitch and I heard what made your product and the delivery system so different, I felt empowered to make better decisions. Mm-hmm. And it's when you know better, you do better. So why don't you let's just get right into it and start and explain to people why your delivery system is so different than the traditional pills.
Well, let me go over the basic science of what it is in nutraceutics and dietary supplements that we're attempting to achieve, right? It's coming from a pharmaceutical perspective, but we're obviously implementing a natural spin to it, if you will. So the technology has been around in terms of using nutrition to improve your pharmacological profile is what we call it in the pharmaceutical chemistry realm, right? Yeah. So as we get into the formulation and the delivery system, we're implementing a high-tech science and then simplifying it so that the population can enjoy the benefits of these high-level technologies in their everyday life, that you don't require a prescription to acquire something with this types of technology associated to it.
So it's a nutraceutical.
This is a nutraceutical for sure, with a high-level technology to deliver it to the body.
Perfect.
So for this particular delivery system, what we're attempting to do and what we've accomplished is we've created an aerosolized mist of the bioactives, which decrease the particle size of the supplements and deliver them into the oral mucosa, is the technical term, but into the mouth, and so that we can capitalize on the absorption rates of the blood vessels inside the mouth so that we can bypass the digestive system. And as pills are functional for sure, but we lose through the digestive system because we have the acids in the stomach, and then we have the alkalinity environment or the basic environment in the upper small intestine. With all the enzymes and everything associated with the GI tract, we end up losing some what's called bioactivity because the supplements, as they go through the GI tract, become oxidized. They
can't survive.
They can't survive.
Right.
And so we bypass all of that by providing a mist directly into the mouth, not needing to bypass the GI tract, and get it directly into the bloodstream. So two things are accomplished there. The first is we don't require as much because the absorption rates here are much more profound than they would be if we were to swallow a pill or a tablet or a soft gel. But more importantly is we can optimize how much is provided to the body by going directly into the blood vessels in the oral mucosa that goes directly into the bloodstream, and the vitamins and dietary supplements then become instantly activated when they get into the bloodstream.
So like instant.
It's instant.
So one of our products we have is called Lash Nap. So I know when I take that at night primarily, but I use it before I get my lashes done.
Sure.
I'm sleeping or starting to fall asleep within like 10, 15 minutes. So that definitely makes sense. So you would say it's an instantaneous sort of result that you get?
Yes. Yes, wow. Because as the dietary supplements enter into the bloodstream, they're unaltered. They're in what's called the bioactive state, which means they've survived ingestion into the bloodstream. Nothing's affected them. Nothing has degraded them whatsoever. And when they start to interact with your cells, they've done so with such a high affinity of rate because you don't have to wait for the digestion, the breakdown of the capsule, the breakdown of the tablet, then go through the intestines to get absorbed, and then become bioactive because it's got to go through the liver and then to the bloodstream. Here, direct, unaltered, and active immediately. So that's the benefit.
I'm sold.
Yeah.
I love that. So my kind of takeaway the first time was that, would you say this would provide about 90% absorption? So
yes, what we've seen with this technology is that we can derive that it's about 9 times the absorption rate. And the reason being is, again, we bypass the GI tract and we don't need to be concerned with bioactive oxidation or bioactive degradation. Almost everything, if you will, about 9 times more is immediately absorbed through the mouth.
I love it.
And in doing so, when we have the 9 times absorption, so we're absorbing 9 times more, it's also X amount faster, which is what you were discussing just a second ago.
It's perfect for our formula.
Yeah.
Where our other product called Growin and Showin, which is a biotin supplement.
Yes.
This is, I think, the most important product because we're in the lash industry and we want to promote health, strong, long, thick lashes, right? And if you don't have that, how can you put extensions on them? So I think this is going to be a really key component for anyone out there wearing lash extensions if you want to have them long term.
Sure.
Right? So from what I learned in my own research, that with traditional pills, because I'm sure people out there are like, oh, I'm taking biotin, I'm doing my thing, it's working. Would you say most pills get about 20% by the time they get down there, if that? If
that, yeah, I would say 20% is a high estimation.
Wow, so it's almost, to me, that's like nothing. So like, why bother? In a sense, like, why are you taking all these pills if by the time they get into your system, they're pretty much not even working at all, or you're getting minimal doses?
Right, and well, we can say at least from the biochemical sense, a little is better than nothing.
Sure.
For sure.
Of course, but however, why not have it all?
That's the question.
Yeah.
Why not have it all?
Yeah. I recently listened to another podcast about probiotics.
Sure.
And that totally changed my perspective. And they basically said the same thing that you're saying. By the time, well, it's a bigger problem with that, is by the time we even get them, most of them are dead. And if they even survive, it's like basically doing nothing. So it really, I think that this is the future. I would imagine that eventually people are going to stop going the pill route, right?
Well,
hopefully.
Yeah, there will always be an application for the pill route in regards to medicine, right? Because there will be some compounds that we can't either dissolve in a fluid solution or emulsify, right? Meaning we can get an active that can be implemented into the fluid and mist well. So now obviously we're working on the technology to making sure that we can do, and that's where Joseph comes into place to make sure that we have the capabilities to do that. And so we're always working that way, but not to discredit capsules and tablets altogether. There will be for sure some application for them for some actives that we need work to get into there.
So this is in its early stages, right? You're about to take it to the next level.
Correct. Yeah,
Joseph.
we're looking to take it on the global stage with Nebula Scientific. But I think Andrew hits the nail on the head when you look at the bioavailability is superior to the pill and capsule. And for so many years, the consumer has been inundated with these hyper doses of capsules. You pick up vitamin C and it says 5,000 milligrams or some outlandish number where, as you're seeing, they got to put that high volume in there so that somebody gets efficacy at some level. But really, it's a waste. And so what we offer up is a solution that is metered. So it's precise, and then we're giving you an efficacious dose that's efficiently delivered. So it's a much more optimized usage of that active ingredient versus waste. Most of the products you see on the market are just wasting.
Who wants to do that? No,
Right.
Just you're wasting your money, right?
Correct.
If you're really serious about taking
And
a supplement,
resources.
you want it to work.
And resources, right?
Yeah.
So you know, resources are finite across our entire planet, and when you take these mega doses of vitamin C, the human's only consuming but so much, as Andrew points out, through that first pass effect phenomenon through the gut. Here, we're giving you an effective dose of that resource. So in essence, it's a greener approach to utilizing our resources across the world as well.
Yeah, I really respect how you guys ethically source your raw materials. I read a lot into what you're doing, and I think it's respectable for sure. I think for me, I'm someone that doesn't like to take pills. It's just like I do this weird like head tilt thing and it gets stuck, and then I'm just like, ugh, it feels awful. So for me, this is a dream. I just couple squirts and I'm like, this is amazing. So
so what we're attempting to do, and again have accomplished with, is to provide the delivery system and allow the chemistry to give enough an effective dose so individuals do not need to take the capsules and tablets. For everything else that we can't put in here yet, this is going to be the appropriate application for that. Yeah. You know, and especially if we take the clinical aspect for individuals that may have throat issues or complications swallowing, you know, this is also an incredible solution for them. Or for the relaxing fit, if you will, because we're always concerned when we're creating nutraceutics is compliance, right? So that's referring exactly to what you're talking about. Individuals that are uncomfortable swallowing pills or tablets, we have to take that into consideration in regards to the delivery system, and we can relax that idea when individuals want to take a supplement. They go, oh man, I really don't want to consume it, you know, with a big tablet or 5 or 6 different capsules, if you will. It's a turn off. Exactly. Yeah. So we can relax that.
Bucket of pills.
Yeah. That mindset and inform the customer or the client that, hey, well, you don't have to anymore. Correct. That's the big deal. Great. Yeah.
And the portability of it is also optimal. You know, instead of having to get little pill carriers, it's also a more sterile way of utilizing your actives. You're not handling the pills, just spraying the active directly into your mouth. It's a little safer, hands-free, if you will.
Yeah.
So it's a very efficient method, and then it's pocketable. It's able to go into your bag, your purse, your backpack. It's not like your medicine cabinet size bottle. It's very travel friendly. Pass through TSA just fine.
Yep. They're like, oh, what's in this? You're shaking it around. You're like, it's vitamins, I swear.
Yeah.
So I would love to hear from you on, I think most of our audience has a little bit of understanding as to what the benefits of biotin are for hair growth. So could you expand a little bit more on that for maybe someone that doesn't really understand?
So biotin has a lot of tremendous biochemical functions for everybody. It supports cellular energy metabolism and allows us to help metabolize sugars and fats. But where it directly contributes to hair, skin health, nail health, is in its protein metabolism benefits. So for the chemistry of biotin, it's a sulfur-bearing compound, which is important for all of our hair, you know, eyelashes, anything that has a collagen aspect associated with it or a keratin aspect associated with it. So collagen and keratin being proteins, keratin being the most important for hair, skin, and nail growth. So as we ingest biotin, it assists in assimilating protein metabolism that's directly associated with our hair growth. So, and that's all hair, eyelashes, the whole bit. So, obviously, the more biotin, and it's a water-soluble vitamin, which means that it'd be very difficult to take too much. But we want to make sure that we provide a safe dose for
'Cause
everybody.
No, I could be overdoing.
Yeah, I was just gonna say.
I love my lashes. I'm like, come on.
Keep going. Yeah.
So I've learned too much is not great.
Exactly.
It becomes a waste. So it's just about finding the right dosage.
And that's the thing, is that because it's a water-soluble vitamin, if we do ingest too much or an excessive amount to attempt to provide more help, more being better, it wouldn't work, because as a water-soluble vitamin, excess amounts would simply be removed.
Perfect.
So it's the best way to help find the appropriate dose for folks to see what they like. But obviously following the instructions on the label are best. Yeah. So in this regard, what's interesting with biotin in particular is that it directly is associated with protein metabolism for hair, skin, and nail growth.
Perfect. I can think of so many clients and our educators and their clients that they're dying to get their hands on this, because lashes are great for all ages. We're finding a lot of more of the mature clientele really starting to go heavy on it. And sometimes, with age, that process just naturally slows down over time. So hair starts to thin and your cellular turnover and your hair cycle just slows down. So you have less stronger growth there less often.
Sure.
So anything we can do to sort of maintain that lash line.
Yeah. And what's interesting with the technology here, with this particular formulation, is that we were able to enhance what's called the pharmacokinetics, right? Which means that we've enhanced how long biotin lasts in the blood. And so it's not just taking the biotin, having a good functional supplement to increase our blood levels, right? But also we can increase the rate at which it exists in the blood. And that technology is called liposome technology. And what's very interesting about it is that a liposome, if you were to picture it, looks like a sphere after we've manipulated it a little. And we can take the biotin and we can implement it, integrate it directly into the sphere, and thus provide a protective barrier around the biotin. So that sphere has its own physics associated with it, its own chemistry associated with it. And so when that sphere gets into your bloodstream, the cells will acquire it very slowly, because the sphere now is going to attach to your cell and then slowly integrate with your cell and then deliver the biotin into the cell at that point. Whereas a biotin that's by itself in the bloodstream will be taken up very quickly.
So it's almost like a time released.
In the blood.
That's amazing.
That's a great way of putting it, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
I know this is a formula that has more than biotin. Are there any other particular ingredients that you find that are just worth talking about for people?
So the biotin is that's the bread and butter of the formulation. And then the liposome technology is how we improve upon it to make it not just unique, but more effective. So you can have more biotin available for a longer period of time. In regards to the excipient profile, obviously we want to try and make it taste good, but the flavor profiling is we've designed it so that it has multiple different aspects associated with it, so that it's not just tasting good, but that it has some dental health associated with it. So in addition to that, we're always looking to go through current R&D and go through the research and improve formulations as time goes on. So we're always updating.
That's what it's all about.
Formulations,
Science it's constantly evolving, right?
Yep.
Once you get stuck, that's a bad spot to be in. So
yeah, that's for sure.
I'm just, from where I sit, from Lash Affair, we talked about that we're going to be bringing this to, the hair studios and not only lash studios. I mean, the place I go to get my hair, I've been talking about this and they cannot wait to introduce this to their clients. Sure. So from your perspective, where do you see this technology in the next 2 to 3 years? I know you want to expand globally and...
Are you talking about the spray platform in general?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. We've got quite a wide roadmap globally. So, Nebula is incorporated here in the U.S. We have a team in London. We have a team in Hong Kong to service all 3 different markets. Nutritional side, of course, as the current climate is demanded, is very interested in immune defense products. So that's right now a very primary focus of our group. That being said, there are CBD applications that are very popular and other active ingredients across multiple spaces that we want to bring this platform there. Beyond that, it's pretty neat. Like we do a hand sanitizer application. It's just a really effective and useful package size and how it delivers the active ingredients. So across the entire planet, we look to bring this product line out quite vigorously. Lash Affair, for us, when we're China, our head of business development brought this opportunity to us. It was interesting because we didn't even think of that market, and it's always an eye opener for us. Every time we think we understand our platform and all the different spaces we can play in, it seems like a new one pops up.
Sure.
And Lash Affair was stupendous for us because we looked at it and said, "Wow, new market." It's premium in that space, and it has an ultra discerning clientele. And as you can tell with Andrew, we put a lot of thought into what we stick inside that tube. And so the partnership that we have with Lash Affair for us is ideal because we get to go and take our wares to a whole nother clientele base, which then helps us lead them into the other active ingredients across other platforms. So they get familiar with the form factor. They begin to look at it and they go, wow, this worked well with the biotin or the sleep formulation, and now they have, say, a vitamin C and zinc or vitamin D or something, some other application. So it's overused phrase, the sky's the limit, but man, there's a lot of things we could do with this platform, and we're finding it out every day.
Yeah.
I couldn't agree more. I mean, I can't imagine finding out about this and wanting to continue taking regular pills.
Yeah.
I just how do you want to continue doing that? It just seems like such a waste.
Well, obviously the objective again is being what we can fit into this platform. Thanks to Joseph, we're gonna try and do it.
Yeah.
That's the name of the game.
Right. Just be more efficient, less waste.
Yep.
I was watching some show the other day, and they were talking about how just like antidepressants, things like that, like everything just goes into the sewer system, and it's just affecting it. People in general, because then it gets back into our water, because the way we reprocess the water, that's like disturbing a little bit. So anything to eliminate that from happening, I think that has a major impact on the environment and people.
Correct, yes. And from us, our brand promise, we take safety and quality as our primary objective. If we break that promise, then we'll lose our clients because we're going after partners like yourself that have a very discerning clientele. And people in general, when they're ingesting a product, we want to make sure that promise is kept. So first and foremost, our commitment to everybody is that we'll make sure that it is safe and is of the highest quality.
Yeah, all organic. I'm a big fan of that.
Yeah.
Now, some people might be saying, oh, well, why would I need this? I have nutrition to kind of speak for that. I don't need to take any sort of supplements, where I always say, yeah, that seems ideal, but I just don't think, especially if you're not eating organic, I don't think that there's enough nutrients available from our food sources anymore. You need to take extra. You can't just solely rely on taking it through food.
Absolutely. A healthy, functional diet first, always and forever.
Sure.
Right.
100%.
Good hydration. Always and forever for sure. What we don't take into account is the multiple aspects of the different substances or the products that we ingest. For example, coffee. So caffeine is a natural diuretic. So as we ingest coffee or caffeine throughout the day, our kidneys are going through their natural process, utilizing caffeine as a diuresis, and so we're going to start wasting more B vitamins as we go throughout the day. And if we're not ingesting B vitamins to replace that, our levels can dip, right? Is it going to reach a low clinical level that we're going to start seeing, adverse physiological effects? Probably not, but you're not going to optimize your desired function, for example, hair growth, right? So biotin is a B vitamin. So the more alcohol, which is also a diuretic, and caffeine that we ingest throughout the day, the more B vitamins we're going to excrete, and so therefore we're going to diminish the performance that we're looking for.
Right. So it's like this balancing act of like in and out, and
that's
what it takes to process. Does wine take care? Is that wine counted in that? I like wine, so please say no. Feel free to say no.
You're ready for the
Damn it. That's why I'm a little down on my doses now. I'm just kidding.
So,
one wine, couple spritz.
Right. So we provide it, to make it. The delivery system is so unique. I mean, and to boast on a little further is because it's so simple, right? We don't have to worry about taking the pill throughout the day. But that's why we supplement, right? So the definition of supplementation is the addition to, right? So as formulation chemists, as we go through our education, that's something that's critical for us, and we can take the athlete, for example, as the athlete requires a little bit more. Right, so a good healthy diet is good, but because the body is requesting a little more to perform at a higher level, we have to supplement a little further that the diet is not capable of providing, unless you're going to consume a lot of food, and then you become me, and you're eating all day long, trying to keep up, right? But in that regard, as we go throughout our day and we're trying to focus on a particular physiological benefit that we'd like to optimize, that's where the supplements come in. I
can't even tell you the growth I've been having on my lashes. It's
really?
So crazy. Even my hairstylist, she's like, your hair is growing like so fast, because I've seen her like 4 times in a row.
Sure.
She's like, do you usually come this often? I'm like, I do now.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, so I've been personally seeing the benefits, so I'm super excited about that. Now, who do you think this product would be good for in the sense of like age range? Like, should teenagers be on this? Just everybody?
Yes.
You don't need to be a certain age, or?
No, obviously no, everybody should be. I mean, you want to be careful. Obviously, 18 years old. Right, under 18, let's discuss with the physician, because at 18, adults, the biochemistry is optimized. But yes, teenagers 18 and older should be on this for sure. And the reason being is if we look at the clinical aspect of most teenagers' diets, they're not eating optimally. I'm trying to be as
I feel like
polite here.
A lot of kids really aren't into health. I'm only asking that because I think a lot of people think, oh, I'm not there yet. I don't need to take supplements and vitamins.
Incorrect.
I'll start to think about that when I'm maybe a little bit older. And I don't agree with that.
Incorrect.
Because of what you just said. So
Yep.
Thank you for confirming that.
No, absolutely. Yes. I mean, dietary supplements should be consumed, throughout the life. I mean, so a great example, the Flintstones vitamins. I
used to take those.
Yeah, exactly. So
yeah, me too.
I did.
To answer that question, as we're speaking specifically to biochemistry, because the diet can be, parents are not nutritionists, right? Parents are not. Some parents are. I'm not saying all parents aren't. But
most doctors don't even know about nutrition, which is a problem for me, and that's why I've always sought out external information from just people that I admire and triathletes and all these people, and that's why I've learned the majority of my information is not from a doctor.
Right. So doctors are very disease specific, and hence why providing, bringing on formulation chemists and biochemists to understand infant physiology all the way through adolescence and teenage, early adulthood, and in adulthood. The doctor's going to suggest, the Flintstone vitamin, in order to fill any gaps that would normally be in an American diet, in a infants or toddlers or adolescent diet. So it's that same perspective. Yes, everybody should be supplementing to ensure that they're filling the gaps, the micronutrient gaps that may exist as an effect of the normal American diet, for sure.
Yeah, I definitely need a little bit of help there. We're struggling here.
Yeah.
Big time. Just with all the chemicals and, even environmental factors.
Sure.
Like that plays a big toll on your body, I feel like, depending on if you live in a big city.
Yep.
Your body's constantly just fighting all these antioxidants. You need more of that, and your cells are just breaking down all the time.
All the time. Yeah. Wine can help you a little there too, and it's just to let you know.
All right, well, I know what I'm doing tonight.
Working
on my health. So I feel like I just can't wait to get this in the hands of people, and I hope to do a follow-up podcast. And we've been doing our own sort of, I don't want to say clinical studies, but our own documentation of how the product has been working. Sure. We've been photographing on a bi-weekly basis, and one of my educators, she was on it for 3 weeks, and she sent me a before and after, and I literally was taken back by the growth that she had. Kidding. Yeah, so it can work, I would say, really fast. I mean, relatively, how long would you say that people can start to see results? Can vary, obviously, from people's different biology, but
right. But a lot of that we're able to bypass because we're the absorption rates and bioavailability is most affected is in the GI tract. That's where we have the greatest differentiation between bioavailability of actives or our micronutrients or supplements. So we're able to bypass that, and by doing so, although genetics are different for sure, and then our physiological state, so age, right, how much how much activity we're performing throughout the day. So there's different variables, but we really begin to shrink that differentiation in genetics because we're bypassing the GI tract. So I would say with the adequate dose, which is referred to or identified on the label.
8 sprays a day.
8 sprays a day, every single day. You can begin to see results, peak plasma blood levels. You're looking between 10 and 14 days.
Wow. Is
when the body will be able to really begin to, and this is a general answer.
Sure.
For folks that are much more active, the body's gonna use biotin in other areas and
general.
Yeah. Yeah. With how the product is formulated, you're probably looking at 10 to 14 days.
That's remarkable. I mean, most products take 6 weeks to start to see some effects, so.
Yeah, again, because of the complication associated with the GI tract, for sure, yeah.
It's interesting how that works, where it's just like you kill everything by the time it gets down there. It's like, what the hell?
Well, it was the first, for medicine and for pharmacy, it was our the first way we knew how to do it. It began with teas, and then we learned we can isolate and extract, what we wanted from nature, and then put it into a capsule so we can concentrate it, and then we can provide an adequate dose system for people as time went on, and then now we've gone into a greater level of technology.
The future is here.
The future is here.
And it's growing.
Yes.
He's like, I am tired. Pioneering this. You're in the lab, constantly working on it, which I think is so interesting. I wish I could get back in there and with you. I know that I'm not allowed to do that because of your FDA-approved facilities and whatnot, but...
Sure.
How often do you say, how many iterations of this product have you done? So biotin, like how many times have you updated it?
The finished product, or how many different iterations did we do in the lab before we achieved this?
Both.
For this particular formulation, don't quote me, this was probably the 16th iteration.
Wow. So you're just completely dedicated to making sure it's perfection.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. We don't, you don't want to make mistakes.
Sure.
And then obviously with, my job in performing this type of technology, is to ensure that the reputation for Joseph is upheld. That's something that's important for us in R&D.
Sure.
Is that we full emphasis so that the individuals who are consuming the product, it's safe, number one. Number two, they're getting what we're telling them they're getting. And then number three, that builds on the reputation that Joseph here is
taking it global.
Yeah.
I just love that that's your plan, because the more people that we can get this information to, it's like easier to educate the masses.
Correct. Yeah.
It's like we have so many plans to saturate this whole entire area and beyond to all of our customer base. I mean, we're a global company, so we plan on really getting it out to all of our people in Italy and Canada and beyond. So I love that we're going to be able to sort of piggyback that process.
Understood.
With you guys.
We're here to help you with that all along the way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
It's exciting.
Yeah, it's huge.
Now, the sleep formula, which we call Lash Nap. I want to talk a little bit about that. I was taking melatonin pills, the traditional, I do the some of the teas and stuff like that. And, you know, the tea would be a little bit more effective, but can you talk about some of the ingredients in the Lash Nap formula?
Man, yeah. So here we capitalized on synergisms, biochemical synergisms. So we attacked relaxation and sleep in the same formulation. So there are 3 actives in this formula, right? So melatonin, which is, I think, self-explanatory, but it is the hormone in the brain that regulates sleep, right? And so we're able to use it here and get into the bloodstream and activate that sleep cycle. The second active, which works in concert with melatonin, is Gaba. And it has a very unique chemical name. And what Gaba does, it is also a neurotransmitter that our neurochemistry naturally biosynthesizes. It's already available in the brain. And its primary function is to slow down all the other neurotransmitters in the brain. So as we're highly activated throughout the day, and we're thinking about work, and then we're thinking about what time we have to get to the gym, and we got to go to grocery shopping, and all the different foods, and making sure that our diet is good. So all of those different neurochemical pathways and neurotransmitters that are sparking because we're trying to do the best that we can throughout the day, Gaba calms all that down. So we can calm the brain down, slow everything down for us, relaxation, and then we can activate the sleep cycle through melatonin. And the third active is valerian root. And valerian root, throughout a number of studies, has shown contributes to relaxation and helps ignite the sleep cycle as well. So we can take melatonin and we can start ignite the sleep cycle. We can take Gaba and we can perform that, so the brain isn't overactivated at night. We can start that relaxation and the calming down effect, if you will, and then valerian root as the nice extract, if you will, that supports both melatonin and Gaba to ignite that sleep cycle.
That's an ancient ingredient, valerian root. Yeah. They've been using that for thousands of years, I feel like.
Yes, thousands of years. I mean, it's a very good example of how pharmacy or the technical side of the pharmaceutical sciences has traveled from thousands of years ago into an aerosolized mist that we can use today.
Yeah. Which I think is perfect for our customer base, where they're going to get a service for up to a few hours sometimes. And, sometimes it's hard for people to lay there for 3 hours with their eyes closed. It's ideal for the artist to have their client be sleeping. That's why the term Lash Nap is a popular thing, because we want to promote that. Because if your client is sleeping and fully relaxed, you can just really work efficiently back there. So I've been taking it every time, and it's such a pleasurable experience. So I recommend that for anyone in their studios. Just have your clients take a couple sprays, and they will just be the easiest client. And it's pleasurable. I mean, you wake up from a little nap looking flawless. I mean, who doesn't want that? So I think it's going to be really successful for the artist and the clients.
Yeah, I was just going to say the clients. The power naps, that wake up refreshed, rejuvenated.
Exactly.
Right?
Totally.
Refreshed,
Yeah. Central nervous system's reignited, and then all the work's done.
I wish I could nap more, but when I do, it's really only when I get my lashes now, I feel so great. Yeah. So when you wake up and you're like, how long has it been? They're like, you're done. And I'm like, so that's the best feeling. So I think that we're going to probably see a lot of positive feedback early on from that. Sure. Yeah.
Looking forward to it. Yeah.
I'll keep you posted all along the way.
Please do. Yeah.
Don't you worry.
I got it.
No, we love the consumer feedback.
Yeah.
As we alluded to earlier, continuous improvement is what we focus on. And the way we get there is not only through our own scientific methods, but consumer feedback is massively important to us.
Yeah, I always say feedback is a blessing, right? Yeah. Where it's like how you do better, right? Correct. So I know we had talked about doing some really, I would say some clinical studies and sort of maybe getting some really up close, shots of lashes and their stages and how it really works. So I'm excited to help you guys do that.
Yeah, that's huge.
You can use our students and get all the feedback and help you really improve the product if it even needs any. So Feeling like it doesn't, but I feel like if you can make it better,
well, you never know.
For it.
You never know. I mean, so there's two parts to that, updating, right? Product improvement. As the innovation comes not just from the science, but also from the clients.
Yeah.
So how that works, collectively, we can improve upon everything that we're doing.
Well, you can rest assured that all the women around the world getting lashes, I'm sure, are going to have you to thank for keeping them long and healthy and strong. There's a lot of, unfortunately, in our industry, there's a lot of practicing out there that isn't done so well that causes some damage. So that's part of our goal as a company, not only to teach people from the start, like, hey, how to avoid this, how to make your clients, not walk around with painful lashes, but in the event that you have a client that wasn't yours from the beginning and you come across someone with a damaged lash line, now we have a solution to help them repair it faster.
Huh.
Yeah.
Well, that's interesting.
Sure.
Yeah, I never thought of that.
Yeah, I mean, we see at our studio, it's few and far between. We get a lot of new guests that come in, but when I was a working lash artist, I would have people come to my chair and I'd be like, oh my God, how bad does that hurt? There'd be gaps missing, like damaged, thin, breakage, all of that. So, when I was practicing, there wasn't something like this that I could offer them. So that's why we're part of it. This is going to be part of our sort of lash rehab.
Yeah.
But more maintaining, right? So not everyone has damage, but this is a way to maintain, because sometimes people like longer styles, or they like, they're wearing, it all basically comes down to weight, right? If some people get a little heavy-handed, your natural lashes suffer naturally. They're not meant to hold all that extra product. Right. So over time, I'm talking like years. I mean, I've been wearing lashes for 12 years consistently. And, over time, sometimes you need a little bit of boost to keep them healthier. Just
check that out. So it's adding a component to. I think rehab is the best way to describe it. Where if there's been poor work that's been conducted, or less efficient work, if you will, or less effective work, this is a component to how you would improve that circumstance for your client.
Yeah. What we teach is, right, of course, everybody wants to have a client come in, and you never want to turn down a service, because that's less money in your pocket. But if you have integrity and you care about the client, not just, all right, let's get them in today, that's one thing. But if you want them to be a regular wearer for the rest of their life, this is a conversation that needs to be had in consultation. It's not about just today. I'm thinking about, what are your lashes going to look like when they come back in for your touch-up? What are they going to look like in 6 months?
Right.
So there's an education. So we're building this right into our consultation in our studio, but also in our courses. We have an academy. We want to teach these new girls that are coming up that, you don't just get somebody to come in. You have to, there's 20 to at least 15 to 20 minutes before you treat a new client, that there's this exchange of knowledge. I mean, you don't want to go too crazy.
Sure.
But you have to understand that, or they have to understand that, maybe this desired look that they wanted might not be the best solution, right? For them. So so there is education that has to happen. But once you know, and once you teach them, how do you turn a blind eye to that? Like most people, when they know, they do better. So we've seen a lot of success with our practices, especially with our students with the consultation method, because a lot of courses, they don't teach that. They just teach you how to put them on. Here's a style, if that. They don't really teach anything about products. But for us, we find it so important that this is a relationship. There's trust that has to be built,
it's
right?
It's comprehensive is what I'm hearing.
Totally.
Right?
Here's the cleanser to maintain, but also here's this spray that, we're not doing damaging work, but why not keep your lashes the stronger, healthier as possible, so that you can maybe have some of those thicker or longer lengths? Because if the lashes are longer to support that, or healthy, then you can get away with maybe some more dramatic styles. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, it makes actually
so if you
sense.
have if your canvas is weak and your lashes are maybe brittle or just not as healthy as they could be from not taking certain supplements,
right?
Where does that leave your desired look?
Right, or the question,
compromised, I think.
If the client comes, I'm eating healthy, I'm doing everything I can on the health front, and I'm still not achieving the goals that I'm looking for in terms of the lash and the strength in that particular area, and the answer can be, oh, well, maybe there's not enough biotin in your diet, in your natural diet. So let's give this a shot and see if it works. So, I mean, it's interesting from that perspective as well, because I can see frustration in some folks, in any area where they're looking, they believe they're eating a good diet, right? There's good hydration, and they're looking for that extra oomph that's not necessarily there. And you guys provide that service with, okay, no, that's great, but here's another product. Let's give this a shot and see if it works. Huh?
Yeah.
Had no idea.
So much, and that's what you were saying earlier, that this wasn't even a market you were even considering.
Correct.
Where I'm like, oh my God, how did they not think that? This should have been the first knock on the door. Is like, and we originally were just thinking, all right, this is just for our lash market. But I'm like, no, this is so much bigger. It's I tend to be a little bit more, I think being as passionate as I am sometimes can be, I don't know, I'm looking at my lovely assistant over there. It can be sometimes annoying because it's so important to me that people are doing right by their clients. Like, do the good work, but, maybe you're scared to sell aftercare and that's not as important. But you know what? It's part of the service. Like, you need to do the right thing for people. So I just don't believe in there's so much more to the service. You have to support them with products like this.
Sure.
Yeah, I think early on in our relationship we realized that about Lash Affair, and so I think your passion is well placed. We identified early that you guys were not just looking to be a brand seller or just selling products out there, and you hit on it when you talked about the educational part, where so many companies struggle with that because it's expensive. It's a long-term commitment to your client, but here, more importantly, Lash Affair showed us that not only do you want to be a premium player in the space, you actually want to be the leader in the space, and not just a leader from a sales perspective, but a leader from guiding the industry and lifting the industry up. And you're showing that through the education that you're taking on. It's easy to take a product and go sell it, put it in your shops, put it in your client shops. But what you're doing is actually venturing beyond that. It's a service to your space. We understand that. We try to do the same thing. And there's a lot of instances in which you're just spending time and money out there, which doesn't necessarily get you a direct return, but in the long run, it helps your entire industry lift up. And then by you putting out this product, standing behind the product, believing in it, and showing that passion, it becomes infectious. Your client base will resonate with them. But not only that, people that are not necessarily your clients will appreciate the space even more. So you're helping everybody.
I couldn't have said that better. That's exactly how I feel. It's like integrity. It's like, why are we doing this? Like, I got into this to help people. I was an esthetician and I loved making women feel good. But what now? Like, what now? If she runs into an issue, what are you going to do?
Right.
You have to take it further. So I think it's so much more than just the service. So I think that our industry is going to be very receptive because, with the lockdowns, for instance, that was major. I mean, a lot of people had to take a break from their lashes. The service industry was like illegal to do a set of lashes. I saw a meme, there were like there's someone there buying legal weed, but getting illegal lashes. It was like, what is going on in this world? So for me, I think this is even more important now. God forbid that ever happens again, right? We're starting to get out of it, but people need at-home solutions. So that's why this is going to be perfect for part of our sort of rehab or just maintenance collection. So we have a couple topical products that we have to accompany it, but this is like your safety if it ever happens again, or
program to keep everything healthy and moving. Okay.
Yeah.
Check that out.
I know. Get the backup.
Yeah.
If anything
And then when we get to
again.
travel again, you get to bring it on the road with you.
Yeah.
I'm very much looking forward to that.
The convenience, one of the other great aspects from the biochemical perspective is that the convenience is what also relates to the compliance, right? I mean, that's always, what Joseph and I talk about as we're developing products and we have new product innovation is, we'd like to deliver, the liposomal biotin, but what's the best way to do it, and so as you can shrink it and minimize it and give it to someone that they can carry it with them just in case they forget, right? Because from my perspective is how do I ensure that the clients can continuously take this? The same way, we consider medication, right? If you got to continuously take it for it to work.
Consistency, for sure. You can't just do 2 spritzes a week and think it's going to be a miracle.
Right. So the
it's
delivery,
all about that.
Exactly. So it provides the convenience that, from my perspective, I love, because I know it helps with the compliance of it's easy to handle, it's easy to have, and it's more favorable to consistently take, right? That the delivery system is provided in a favorable form factor for the client to have ease of access to it and have everything they need from the product throughout the day.
Yeah, I mean, I could say personally, I have a bottle of Biotin, probably full. Like I was just taking them because it's like I don't know. I just find that's an inconvenient thing for me.
Sure.
And it's not my favorite. So
yeah,
I'm hoping you guys can get probiotics in there. I'm hoping just like, I know we have our eye on a couple of other formulas that we spoke about privately that I think are really going to make this, I would say, line. I want like a whole collection of of all the products that you have. So we're just starting with these ones, but I have about 4 others that I'm hopeful that we can bring on in the next year.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I think as the lash artist, what I hope is, if you bring this product into your studios and you're having these conversations with your clients, checking in with them, how are you enjoying the Biotin? You're using it consistently. Right. Share a story with them. Oh, I keep mine in my purse. And we have another system. It's an aftercare product, which is going to enhance this to make it more of a, how do I say it without giving away the product? It just sets them up for success to never forget to take it. Right?
Okay, right.
So it's going to fit perfectly into that. But I think it's helpful to check in with them. Share with them what you do if it's easier for you to take it. And when you're looking through their lash line, tell them, wow, your lashes from 2 weeks ago, I'm really seeing a difference. Encourage them because I know for the past few months when I've been getting my lashes done, they tell me, they're like, your lashes, I've never seen them look better. So it's important to positively reinforce that because I know with the lashes, sometimes they can't really see if it's working. Because like for me, I have extensions on. I don't think you'd be able to look and see like the growth. That's the artist's responsibility is to sort of share that progress with them. Right. Of course, you see it in other areas, your hair and you know, other areas that you need to shave and stuff like that, which that's been interesting for me as an Italian gal. I'm like, oh God, I really want my hair. Like, but I don't need any more up here, but
it's just, but like you stated, it relates to it reveals the effectiveness, of the product in general. And so that's also good to hear. And good luck. That means I'm doing a good job.
Some of those franchises that I think are, making it a little bit less difficult or making our job a little bit challenging to, sort of combat these negative experiences. But we're dedicated to making this part of just the standard. You get lashes, here's your cleanser, here's your cleansing brush, here's your Biotin Spray. Every client is this is going to be our prescription for them.
So it's a kit. You're generating a kit, optimizing on nutritional chemistry.
Absolutely. I mean, how are you going to get lashes if you don't have lashes to apply them? It's just that simple.
Right. So that was, in developing the product, that was always the understanding, right? It was to strengthen the lash, understanding your perspective and what it was that you were looking to achieve, with this formulation. And but hearing how it's going to be kitted together, that's an interesting dynamic.
Student kits. Like everyone's going to get one in their kit so they can start using and experiencing it. We already built out the slides and some of the benefits, and we're just excited to provide more visuals. Here's someone that's been on it for 6 months versus someone that didn't take it at all. So I think the visuals are pretty striking and resonate with people.
I agree. I'm a visual person.
Me too. Most people are.
And
I think like 70% of people. I know when I'm in Pilates, if I can't see the lady, I'm doing all this weird stuff in the back. She's like, what are you doing? I'm like, my own thing. Like I have to see her, while she's doing it.
Right. Or at least put her on a big Jumbo John screen, so you can, if you're in the back,
Oh my God.
Come in a little late,
Have you ever taken Pilates?
No. I'm no.
You want to take it with me?
Okay.
I'll take you to our office. I'll show you our academy, and we'll go to Pilates class.
All right. Well,
get you all limber and loose before you go back in the lab for hours.
Yeah, there you go. No, I power lift, so the flexibility
it really offsets it.
It does.
Most people don't know Pilates was created by a Navy SEAL.
No kidding.
Like a savage Navy SEAL. Yeah, he's out there doing all of his stretches. Like he completely understood the power of, being flexible. And
flexibility is huge.
Yeah.
When it comes to strength and stamina in particular, for sure.
for our lash artists too. I highly recommend Pilates.
I guess
Weave that right back into the lash world. You got to stay stretchy so you can do more clients.
You coming with me? We're trying Pilates?
I've done Pilates a couple of times. Yeah, I like it better than yoga because of the strength conditioning aspect of it.
It's so intense.
And it moves faster.
Yeah,
for
sure.
Whereas yoga to me moves a little slow, and I'm not very good at calming down or just. I need to keep moving.
Yeah.
So Pilates
well, you're
is
the
a lot more
perfect
efficient.
person to be the CEO of this company.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, exactly.
Not an idle mind.
Yeah. All right. If we got to try it, I'll try it.
Yeah.
I like it.
This partnership just got a lot more deeper than you thought.
This is great.
Yes.
I'm fine with that.
So yeah, I feel like you did a really good job explaining why your technology is different and how people can benefit. I mean, to me, I threw all my pills away. Like, I'm just over it.
Good.
I'm not into wasting my time, my money.
Yep.
I don't understand why anybody would do that. So I really look forward to getting your message out as part of our message to really enhance the service that we're doing and make sure that it's going to be around forever.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I always use this example, and I was talking to this with my hairstylist, and I said, we have these standards in the hair industry where you obviously can't go and use these aggressively hard products, or you can't bleach people's hair till it falls out. And what do you recommend? There's always this keratin treatment to sort of rehab.
Sure.
So I think this is going to be perfect to help complement that industry as well. That, they're I think not ahead of the game with us. Obviously, it's just been around longer.
Sure.
But we're so early in these standards that I think that this is going to be easy to just make it part of it. Like the no damage crowd. This is what we do. You can't just be damaging people's lashes. That's a liability, right? I think that there's not enough accountability nowadays. So that's what we're doing. And highlighting that, no, that is not okay.
Sure.
If you went to a hair salon, they bleached all your hair out, you'd be like, oh, definitely never going back there.
This could be applied
now
there.
It's still common in the lash industry where clients just don't know that they shouldn't have gaps. So like I said, we're going to make this part of the standard of letting clients understand that that's not acceptable.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
Again, a comprehensive, understanding and education, if you will, to the client.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah, I can definitely see this being used very effectively in that manner.
Totally.
Oh,
and I think this podcast will help, obviously, because, we explain it, but I think it's really nice hearing it from you guys and letting people know all the hard work that goes into this. And
thank you for,
Yeah, thank you for the vision. I mean, the vision helps.
Yeah.
We understand how to bring a consumable product to the market, but it's your vision and passion that really fuels us.
Yeah, and then where you want to go with it for sure, because that's what drives the formulation.
Correct. We get a lot of tire kickers, as they say, a lot of people inquiring about different things that they could put in the platform, and so we have to, we have finite resources. We have to pick and choose who we partner with. Yeah. And so, this was a fun project for us. Yeah. And we're looking forward to it being a long-term relationship.
Oh, it's you're stuck with me. For me, when I get attached to something and I'm passionate about it, I literally don't shut up about it. Yeah. When I was on vacation, I'm handing it to my friends. It's you got to take this. I'm let me tell you why. And every day she was doing the spritz and showing me because she likes these long lashes. So it's not easy. It's not difficult, I found thus far, to get people to understand the process. At all. I just think coupled with, more education from this podcast and just the more things, but I mean, just telling them has proven to be enough. So.
Well, and you're trying to promote trial. And that's one of the things we love about this platform. You think about all the world to say, chew this, swallow it, smoke this, inhale this, drink this. Here, just simply spray it in your cheek, hold it there for 5 seconds and swallow. Yeah. I don't care what the active ingredients or who the consumer is, regardless of demographic, they're going to look and they go, I can do that. It's real easy to promote trial, and so it's a beautiful platform in that regard.
Yeah, I'm so proud to be here with you guys. So thank you so much for considering us.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, and I look forward to reporting back after our launch how successful it was.
Well, continuously. Like I said, we'll continuously work to ensure that it is of the highest quality and whatever improvements we can make over time.
Absolutely, and then let's discuss it. We'll discuss it again.
Perfect. At Pilates.
At Pilates.
Are you gonna? Can we videotape the Pilates?
No.
Kayla, did you bring your
Secret cameras?
Yeah, I'd like to have that for the video.
Yeah.
You show that at the Christmas party.
Yeah.
I love that.
Good luck, guys.
Where can we have really intense conversations in odd places?
Yes.
I like that.
Yep.
Bring a little humor.
Yeah, nothing wrong with it. Yeah.
I like to have fun, but I take
So do
safety
I.
serious.
Very much.
Take the lash line serious.
Got to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect. Well, thank you all for all your work. Anything else you want to add? I feel like that was great.
No, I'll make sure I wear elbow pads and knee pads when I do Pilates, and maybe a helmet or two. And
You gonna wear like a one piece?
Oh,
yeah.
With like your powerlifting
Yeah,
outfit?
I'll wear the powerlifting singlet. Yeah, just to make sure that nothing gets caught.
scientist by day, ninja by night.
There it is. Yeah. Well, thank you for having us. We really appreciate it.
I appreciate you guys more than you know, for sure.
And please continue with the passion. Don't ever let that stop you. Don't ever feel embarrassed by it. Drive it.
I will not. I always say, to me, I'm not motivated by money. I care more about helping and truly elevating and having a legacy of just, obviously your passion, money usually follows, but for me, I don't know, I've always been that way.
Yeah, I always say money's a byproduct of a goal.
Yeah,
what you're setting are real goals. Money's a byproduct of a goal.
And I think a lot of people, they just don't operate with as much integrity anymore.
No,
it just
a big thing,
bothers me.
Sure.
Everyone's just so short-sighted. So I'm not into that. So
Yeah, well, it's connecting your passion with our passion, and let's share that. Continuously share that with the world. I mean, that's
ultimately make a promise.
I'm so excited. I really am. I've seen how effective it's been for me and my team. So, get ready. I think by the time this airs, we'll have more of that visual data built up.
For sure.
So we plan on launching, I think, next month.
Awesome.
I think I know we're in production.
Oh, great. Yeah.
Yes, we are.
Perfect.
Love it.
Jennifer, our chief operating officer, keep you on the line of how it all moves along.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Well, we can discuss that at her lash appointment.
There you go.
Perfect.
Tell her to bring the schedule with her.
Yeah. Well, again, thank you guys for joining me. Thank you guys for all that you do. I just appreciate scientists and innovators, and I'm happy to spread your word from my big ass microphone.
Love it.
Which is my mouth.
Likewise.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you for yours.
All right. Well, thanks for tuning in.
Yeah, guys.
You can find us on Anchor, Apple Podcast, YouTube, and of course, lashaffair.com. If you liked this episode, please share, like it, and leave us some positive feedback. We really appreciate it. Thank you for listening. We're out.